Years ago when Andrew said, listen, I'm going to make vitamins and supplements that are better, that are different, that are truly made to our highest standard, with none of the bad stuff, none of the fillers, additives, binders, truly pure, incredible ingredients that do us and our bodies so much good. Well, today's been a big day, and Andrew, I'm thrilled to get to spend these final couple hours with you. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well. Under the circumstances, we're all doing well.
Well, Andrew, we were just talking backstage what a pleasure it is, because, you know, this little bit of normality, seeing you there from the comfort of your own home, it feels good. It's a nice distraction.
No, it's kind of interesting. We've always done shows from studio at HSN or studio at QVC, and we do them from the factory at least 2 or 3 times a year, and hopefully things will return to normal and we'll be able to do a show from the factory. And now we're doing it from my home. So it's different, but the information will hopefully be just as valuable, just as relevant, perhaps nowadays even more relevant, because I think we have a heightened appreciation for what our health means. And as I've always said, my products take a distant back seat. The products are not nearly as important as the information that really underlies them, because the key to really being healthy is being well educated and well informed about your health. I mean, there's a whole body of clinical studies and clinical research that have nothing to do with ingredients and just have to do with information. And that the more informed an individual is about their health, the healthier they tend to be. So hopefully my shows contribute to your health and wellness by providing information, stimulating your curiosity so you acquire even more information.
Well, we're going to spend some time on our final presentations with our today's specials. Choco Nouveau is on the way. But first up, of course, we have our Maximum Omega-3, and we're excited to do this at a today's special pricing. I'll quickly take everybody through so you guys can see at home why this has been so well received, the world's finest omega-3 product. Normal pricing, you'll see on the one side of the chart versus our today's special pricing with really big savings. We're talking less than 20 cents per capsule when you go for the larger sizes. The 720 caps is actually a larger size. Andrew, we don't always offer that size, do we?
No, I'm not in the studio to angle those charts so they face the camera better. That's me obsessing about the details again, which is what I do with my products. Sorry.
There we go.
There we go. It just makes it easier for everyone at home to see the chart. So, but the savings, when we do these today specials, we're talking about an enormous amount of capsules. Yes, they're, you know, pennies each, but we're talking about tens of millions of capsules of omega-3s. And for us, because our omega-3 fish oil is not the industrial commodity standard that you see in all the products in all the grocery stores and all the discount stores and pharmacies. Ours is different. So this opportunity to do this today special and the response these today specials get, it's your opportunity to save. It's our opportunity as a manufacturer. And that's what makes us different from everyone else, is that we actually manufacture it. So those special fish oils that are custom made for us, oops, hopefully we didn't lose our video here, but those
I can still see you, Andrew.
Oh, you can still see me good. We lost the video here. But those omega-3 fish oils are custom made, specifically made for us, because the industrial standard is not what you want.
Right.
The industrial standard is a synthetic form. Fish oil is a natural thing. But the omega-3s that are the standard ingredient in the typical fish oil product are synthetic.
Right.
And then they focus on the omega-3 EPA, which is important, but not the most important. We focus on what is most important, DHA. We focus on what makes up your brain. We focus on what makes up the most critical organs and systems in your body. So, as I've often said, it's kind of like home cooking. And I've been getting a lot of home cooking right now. But unfortunately, nothing like living with a cordon bleu chef. So even before I came here, I got to eat very well.
Very lucky.
But if you were making an omega-3 product yourself, you would look at the typical products that were as like the worst of junk food. If you looked at the typical omega-3 products, synthetic omega-3s, they start with fish oil, but then they turn them into ethyl esters. So again, synthetic forms targeting and focusing on the least important of the two omega-3s. But if you were doing it at home, you'd make sure it was home cooking. It was natural, in the natural form, in the most active form, focusing on the thing that is not just a little bit important for your brain. I was saying this earlier today, that even if an ingredient was, say, 1, 2, 5% of the makeup of your brain, you'd go, oh my goodness, that is incredibly important for my brain. Right. But if something was 2/3, 60% of the composition of your brain, you'd say, oh my goodness, how do I ensure that my body has an adequate amount of it every day? Right. Very simple. Eat oily fish every day. Things like salmon, tuna, but with tuna you have to be aware of mercury. Things like swordfish, again, mercury. So it's sardines, mackerel, great source of omega-3s, but you have to be aware of contaminants and heavy metals to some degree, or an omega-3 supplement. It's either or. I wish I could say you could breathe it in the air, or there's some other special food you could get it from, or that your body can make them yourself. But the very defining character of an essential omega-3 oil or fat, their defining characteristic is the fact that your body cannot make them. And the only source is diet or supplementation. And again, they are 60% of the dry weight of your brain. As concentrated as they are in your brain, they're even more concentrated in your eyes and the retina of your eyes. So, and as important as they are, those two structures, you'll have cardiologists who would argue that it's even more important to the heart and cardiac function. Then, of course, the role they play in beauty for the radiance of our skin, moisturizing our skin and other tissues in our body, the moisturizing of our eyes, the comfort when you wear contact lenses. The list goes on, but just for me, my job requires that my brain work well. And I'm not as young as I used to be. And thank goodness my brain works as well today as it did when I started my company 41 years ago. But I think it's not an accident that things in life, my parents taught me at an early age, that if you want to have a good outcome in the future, it's how well you take care of things in the present. So the future is entirely dependent on what we do today.
Well, Andrew, if you are the poster child for this omega product, the sales will go through the roof, there's no doubt. Truly and honestly, so many important points. We all want to live our best life, but there is an elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room is for anybody out there that has tried previous or other different types of brands of omega products, you might not have liked it. You might not have liked the taste. You might not have liked the kind of the repeating that happens because of the fishiness of it. You certainly might not have liked the size of it. Andrew, your omega capsules, the soft gels, are much smaller than what we're typically used to seeing.
And it's much smaller, but delivering more of what you want, both natural and more quantity, just sheer quantity. Despite being almost half the size, our capsules deliver more of what you want. And with an omega-3 product, it's not just the science of delivering benefits. What I learned early on myself, and the reason why omega-3s are one of the reasons why my company exists. I knew that I needed to be supplementing. I was an athlete over 40 years ago. I still try to be an athlete today, but age has something to do with that as well. But back in the day, I realized that one of the advantages I had was my education. So I knew that certain ingredients could enhance my recovery, enhance my performance, but the products on the market were not representative of the science, meaning that they took the science and they basically disrespected it. So from the very start, what I tried to do with our products is not just respect the science, but the products had to be humane. They had to be kind. So they had to be products that not only delivered your benefits of omega-3s, but that didn't upset your stomach, that weren't impossible to swallow, that didn't have a fishy aftertaste, that I think in most industries, the various competitors look at that industry as hopefully each product stimulates interest and they could all benefit from sort of what they say when the tide goes up, all boats go up.
Right.
I look at the other companies in my industry as undermining the health of the industry. And I look at it because of the nature of some products they've made over the years, which were kind of deceptive and not appropriate, whether it's ephedra or or certain kinds of red raspberry ketone or all these crazy ingredients, or an omega-3 product that you know doesn't contain its natural form, that you know is going to be hard to swallow, that you know as a manufacturer is going to cause fishy aftertaste and repeat, but you don't care. And maybe that's because the retailer is one party, the manufacturer is an entirely unrelated party, and they just make whatever they make. So there's no commitment to the person who's taking the product. And as everyone knows, I can often recite reviews or comments because they stay with me. Yeah. And sometimes the negative comments stay with me longer because that's what encouraged me. My original omega-3 product was not completely problem-free. Today it is. And the reason why it is because I got tired of reading negative comments. I don't take criticism well. So please, even when you do criticize me or my products, as I always used to say to my mom when I was little, even if you have something not nice to say, you can always say it nice. Right. So please say it nicely if you have comments, because that's instructive for me. The reason why this product is virtually perfectly reviewed, that 90+% of the reviews are 5-star, almost 98% are positive reviews. It's not just the good work we do manufacturing, it's because we followed your instructions. So every step along the way, when we had a struggle, you said, the capsule's now getting a little too big, you need to figure out how to get it smaller. We did that. We're starting to notice a hint of a fishy aftertaste. We went back to work. So the reason why today this product is the perfect omega-3 product at a perfect price, pennies a day, because you only need to take one capsule, is because of the feedback you've given us and because we took your feedback seriously. Maybe on my part, I take it too seriously because it probably affects my sleep sometimes, which it shouldn't, I know.
You're a perfectionist and you listen to what everybody says, and that's why we love you so much, Andrew, because you put your heart and soul into every single product. And that's why for anybody that's been taking Andrew's Omega product over the years, this is your day, this is your moment to stock up. If you're running low, make sure you add 2. If you've never tried it before, if you're joining us for the first time, if you're at home, cozy, staying in by yourself with the family, maybe you're seeing this for the very first time, Andrew produces the world's finest vitamins and supplements. You can't find, and Andrew, this is a big point, you can't go to your health food store, to the supermarket, certainly not to your discount stores, and find an Omega product like this.
There's on so many levels. There's like a long list of things that we did first that make this product truly second to none. We even, flaxseed is a wonderful vegetable source of omega-3. But we put a small amount always in our product just so you get the perfect balance of all natural omega-3 sources. As great as flaxseed is, and it's wonderful, there's an even better source called Ahiflower. The only reason we now use Ahiflower instead of flaxseed oil is because I'm obsessively involved in making this product perfect. So, and again, we start with DHA. It's the only product in the world, I believe, that contains DHA, EPA, DPA, ALA, SDA, stearidonic acid, that really contains the most comprehensive array and assortment of omega-3. So no matter what your biochemistry is, we cover all the bases, and we do it uniquely because the most important omega-3 is the DHA. And virtually all of the most popular products on the market, the #1 omega-3 is EPA. DHA is the one that is 98, 99% of the fatty acids in your brain. And in your brain, fatty acids are not trivial. Fatty acids are about 60% of your brain, almost 2/3. And in your eye, they're even more concentrated in the retina. And we all know as we get older, 2 of the most critical sites of aging that we're aware of is our brain, our eyes, even our joints. Right. Omega-3s play a critical role in lubricating our joints. Our skin, omega-3s play a critical role in moisturizing our skin. So omega-3s and aging have a very intimate relationship. And unfortunately, the relationship with omega-3s in our diet is not very intimate. There's not much omega-3 found in our diet at all, unfortunately. And that's almost a defining characteristic of the American diet. If you compare it to, say, Japan or the Mediterranean region, they get not 10, 20, 30% more omega-3s than we do. They get multiple times more omega-3s than we do. And that's reflected when you look at, again, epidemiologic studies, and that's studies of large populations and how their behaviors affect their health and well-being. Omega-3s are directly associated with a better aging brain, better aging eyes, better aging heart. So these are the things that we want to support. And there's a simple way to do it. Make sure, well, it's a complicated way to do it. Make sure you get a few ounces of oily fish every day.
Right.
The simple way to do it is to make sure you get an omega-3 supplement. As I always say, it doesn't have to be mine. As much as I could go on and on about why ours is superior and beneficial and our Today Special is a great value, that the most important thing you get is the understanding that omega-3s are essential, that your body can't make them, and they're critical to your brain and eyes and all the systems in your body. So you don't have to get mine, but even if it's an inferior product, it is without question still going to be better than nothing.
Well, we're in our final presentation, so we'd love for you to shop and make sure you've got yours. I want to take you through the sizes if you just want to try them. If you've tried other omega products and you can't believe that there's no fishy aftertaste with this, go for the 30 capsules, of course. Remember, anything that you buy at the moment has a 90-day return policy. So 30, 90, 180, 360, or 720. Most of our customers are obviously going for the specialty size of the 720 because it's the only time of the year that it's available. If you look at the value here, it's like a buy one, get one, and then some versus the 360. Substantial savings, $180. And to kind of put it in perspective, Andrew, I asked them for a bowl out here so I could show everybody what 720 capsules looks like, because it's like a little, well, I say a little, a big pot of gold, a pot of sunshine. Look at all of this.
No, it's the product. When the product is in its most natural form, as we do it, it's beautiful. The natural triglycerides, and if you kind of tilt that forward so everyone can really see the color, and also that container that the omega-3s are in, to fit 720 capsules of 500 milligrams of omega-3 per capsule, that's your daily supply. To fit it in that small a container is pretty amazing, and that's because our capsule's about half the size of a 300 milligram normal omega-3. So, and that beautiful golden color, that's the natural color. We add nothing to the product. The only thing you're getting are the wonderful DHA, EPA, STA, DPA, all the wonderful acronyms, abbreviations for the Eicosapentaenoic Acid, the Docosahexaenoic Acid, the Stearidonic Acid, the alpha-linolenic acid. So these are all the omega-3 fats that your body can't make, that your body needs these as the source material to work with to construct the vital tissues of your brain. And I have some research, I haven't read any of it, I'm going to grab some here, that talks about the brain and behavior, the brain and mood, the brain and memory and concentration, all of these things that it goes without saying. We know if we don't have adequate calcium, you know, our bones are not going to be at their best. And DHA, the most important ingredient in this product, it's a larger component of your brain and your retina of your eye than calcium is to our bones and skeleton. So it goes without saying that they've obviously got to play an incredibly important functional role in how well your brain functions, your eyes function, if they play such an enormous, enormous structural role. Because in our body, it's not accidental. Right. This is a brilliant, beautiful design. And this design, if something plays such a predominant structural role, then it's going to play an equally predominant functional role and beneficial role.
It's so important, and we hear it and see it in all of the reviews and testimonials that come on through. I want to highlight, again, side-by-side comparison. I took some of the other big brands, the big leaders that you can find in all the stores, and put them up against Andrews. Andrews is right smack bang in the middle, right here. And as you can see, it is by far the smallest. Ironically, it's more potent. It's giving you more of what your body needs, what we need, and that's why over 38,000 have now been reserved. I know time's running short. We will be doing our Choco Nouveau. That's our second Today Special. Final chance, certainly, for the season, so we're excited about that. When it comes to brain, when it comes to eyes, when it comes to heart health, we know an omega product is so vital, so important, but we also know the issues we've had in the past with other products. They will not be with this. With Andrews, there is no aftertaste. There are no contaminants, there is no mercury, it is small and easy to swallow. And Andrew, one of the things I always found so compelling is when you talk about the idea that taking an omega product actually is beneficial for all the other vitamins and supplements you might be taking as well. It's certainly synergistic benefits to it.
Well, when it comes to an omega-3 supplement, omega-3s are part of the essential nutrition that we have to deliver to our body. It's not an accidental design. And essential nutrients, that word essential has a very special definition. It means that our body can't make it, our body can't create it. So it's up to us. We have a few responsibilities. That calories are something that's abundant, but those essential nutrients are something that are seriously lacking in the American diet, and they all work together. As they say, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and if omega-3s are a weak link, you've chosen very poorly when it comes to a weak link, because again, they're the critical ingredient in the structure of our brain, the critical ingredient in the structure of our retina, and not one of the critical ingredients, the most critical ingredient in the structure of our brain, the most critical ingredient. So we talk about the phospholipids that make up our brain, phosphatidylcholine, even the structure of our liver. Omega-3 fats are a critical component of the membrane structure of our liver. So you can't find an organ in our body that isn't highly dependent on omega-3 fats, the essential role they play. And if you're like most Americans and don't nourish yourself with omega-3s on a regular basis, that's consequences. We just might consider that normal in America, but that's, again, when I often say normal isn't ideal.
Right.
We could do better than normal. Unfortunately, that's normal for the American diet in many regards is not ideal to support our health. But I had some charts here. If we can look at these. And it's harder to do it while I'm at home here. Right. So I just grabbed a whole bunch of them. And these, I think, talking about the brain and behavior and things like that. But the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging, after adipose tissue, meaning the fat on our body, the human brain is the organ that contains the most fat by far. All cells and all organelles in the brain are very rich in polyunsaturated omega-3 fatty acids, principally, mostly DHA, almost exclusively DHA, actually. Lipids, most of which are phospholipids, constitute what I was just saying, and this is from the Archives of General Psychiatry, constitute 60% of the solid mass of the human brain and are absolutely required for normal brain structure and function. From Acta Neurologica Taiwanica from Taiwan, we've learned in recent years that fatty acids are among the most critical molecules that determine your brain's integrity and ability to perform. So if DHA is the fat that makes up our brain, then that fatty acid determines how well our brain, its integrity, and its ability to perform. Because the brain is predominantly made of fat, almost all of its structures and functions have a crucial dependency upon essential fatty acids, which we get directly from our food. And again, we don't get DHA, and DHA is that essential fatty acid. And they use the word critical dependency, crucial dependency. Over the past 2 decades, we have learned that DHA is the critical long-chain omega-3 fatty acid. That's what we focus on in our most comprehensive formula. Others focus on EPA. We follow the research. Thus, we seem to have a requirement for preformed DHA in the diet that cannot be met by other fatty acids. Again, that's why our formula is so unique. From Nutrition and Health Journal, since the 1970s, it has been known that DHA is a determinant of brain growth, function, and integrity. While protein is relevant to body growth, the structural material of the brain is nearly 60% lipid, fat. Just as essential amino acids are needed for protein synthesis, essential fatty acids are required for lipid synthesis, and essential for the synthesis of the tissue of our brain. And our brain is constantly repairing, just like any tissue in our body, remodeling itself. From Archives of Neurology, a primary component of membrane phospholipids in the brain is the omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid, DHA. High levels of DHA are found in the more metabolically active areas of the brain, including the cerebral cortex, which really determines who we are. Little EPA, Eicosapentaenoic acid, or ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, are found in the brains of humans. That's the other fats. Again, why do we focus on DHA? Because it's most important to the brain, the eye, the heart. In contrast, DHA is found predominantly in neuronal membranes, in the gray matter, and constitutes the major omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid in the human brain. DHA may also play a key role in both the structure and function of brain regions involved in the formation of new memories. And that's something that as we get older, we struggle with, is that the structuring and creation of new memories from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. In addition, optimal DHA concentrations are important to cognitive processes. These processes, known as executive functions, can be characterized as the integration and control of attention and response components with various aspects of working and long-term memory. These go on. I'm going to skip ahead here. I'm just going to take a whole bunch. There's about 100 charts I have there. Wow. But here from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, DHA is important for brain function, and its status is dependent on dietary intakes. Therefore, individuals who consume diets low in omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids may cognitively benefit from DHA supplementation. And if we keep going through these starts talking about age-related changes in the brain. It starts talking about mood changes, positive outlook, that these are things that are dependent on providing our brain with adequate levels of DHA. Long-chain omega-3 polyunsaturated fats derived from marine sources may play an important role in cognitive performance throughout all stages of life. DHA, the dominant omega-3 in the brain, is a major component of neuronal cell membranes and affects various neurological pathways and processes. And again, as I go through these charts, what you will see from the normally very conservative language of medical journals and scientific journals, this inescapable, unavoidable, inevitable conclusion that DHA, being this 60% of the weight of our brain, that it is determinative of how well our brain works for us. And whether we're thinking about memory, whether we're thinking about concentration, whether we're thinking about mood, happy, sad, how we feel, those are all byproducts of the very delicate and fragile functioning of our brain. And given that the function of our brain follows its structure, it just makes sense that we target and focus on the single most important molecule to brain structure. And it's not 5 or 10%, which would make it critically important. How about 60%? And that 60% is even outdone by the percentage that DHA represents in the retina of our eye, with our eyes and our vision being the most important of our 5 senses.
But Andrew, as you go through all of these charts, and I know we're running out of time, folks, and we are very, very busy. If you'd like to order yours, you can call us on the toll-free number. Of course, go to hsn.com or download the HSN mobile app. Thousands and thousands have been reserved today because this is the day to get the very, very best pricing on Andrew's premier omega product. Andrew, the charts, the science, the validation, the importance of those is really at the heart and soul of what you've always done, though. You follow the science, and that's why the formulas, they've changed over time. They don't just stay the same.
But even when I first made my first omega-3 product, the funny thing was that even though every other product in the world focused on EPA, my first product focused on DHA. The reason why, I looked at the research that our brain was mostly DHA. And for me, when I first started making products, I was in my 20s. I figured, I'm not worried about cardiovascular health. As it turns out, DHA is also more important for our heart. Right. But I really wanted to give my body what its most important organs, and the brain drives everything. So whether you're an athlete or whether you're someone who's aging, we are focused on the executive functions of our brain. And it really is what determines our quality of life. And right now, I was talking about what's going on in the world, and certainly what's going on in the world is horrific, but this too shall pass. But after it's passed, I think most of the scars that will be left after this has passed will be emotional scars, psychological scars. It will be, those of us who've suffered loss, those of us who suffered health issues and things, and to the degree to which we support our brain, our psyche through these difficult challenges. That's why I talk about adequate sleep. Learn to meditation. It's a good time. We're spending time at home, just learning how to focus on breathing and things like that. The things we can do to learn to really focus on our spirit. Now is the time to do it. Omega-3s, they're an essential nutrient that supports every system and every cell in your body, but the role they play for our brain, our eyes, our heart are truly, at times like these, more important than at any other time.
It's just immense. And to your point, Andrew, I think certainly for me throughout this time, it's a reflection on how delicate life is and how important it is to do what we can, like you always say. It starts with diet, exercise, looking after ourselves, and this gives us a chance to really look at what differences and changes we can make.
I was just reading a very good article written by a physician saying that hopefully the concerns we all have now, that certainly doctors who might be treating someone for type 2 diabetes or hypertension, you hope your patient is going to be really religious and rigorous about taking their medications, because you want them to have adequate and proper blood sugar and glucose control. You want them to have good control of their blood pressure. I say you want to go through life with control of your blood pressure and control of your blood sugar. But even now we have a better reason, because it's apparent that our immune system functions better when we manage those systems better. So if we want to stand up to that which is going on around us, we want to make sure that we follow our doctor's instructions that we might be a little bit more casual and haphazard with at other times. But now we have a real, in so many ways, a real call to arms, that as collectively we have to make the right decisions, but individually we really have to make the right decisions. So hopefully this is really an opportunity for us to know that all the time is the right time to follow our doctor's orders and instructions, to take care of our good health, to manage our blood sugar, to manage our blood pressure, and do all of those important things.
Well, if you had a wish list, a checklist of your dream Omega product, you just found it, folks. And although our time is running short in this presentation, there is still time, of course, to place your orders. I want to show you the different sizes. I'm holding the 720 caps, which is the largest size. It's the new specialty size for the Today Special. But we also have other sizes. For many of Andrew's regulars, we always stock up with the biggest because it offers the biggest value for money at less than 20 cents per capsule. So this is the 720, this is the 360, this is the 180, this is going to be your 90, and then of course we have our 30 caps. This could be the Try Me if you want. If you look at the pricing and the savings, they are really big. Remember, premium product, really premium product. That's what the pricing is normally. That's where we're at today, and the savings are really significant. The savings escalate, they add up, they build as you get towards the bottom. Please remember that larger size is on a FlexPay, so you actually get it home for $27 plus tax. FlexPay is HSN's big advantage. There's no fee, there's no penalty. Andrew, I know you're a big fan of FlexPay as well here. It's one of our big advantages, and there's no kind of downside to it. There's no penalty for taking advantage of it.
But even better than FlexPay, it's like getting to pay, normally when you pay for a car or something, you pay interest on it. But FlexPay is a wonderful way to economize, but what's even better with my products, better than FlexPay, is that 720 capsule supply is a 2-year supply.
Right.
So the investment you're making, you're spending less than 20 cents a day. If you're sharing with someone else, it's a 1-year supply. If you're a cardiologist or ophthalmologist, could be a neurologist, psychiatrist, recommended 2 capsules a day, you can do that, so it still is a year's supply. But the larger size makes it more affordable. It also eliminates the need for getting small vitamin bottles shipped to you constantly. So it's environmentally more efficient. But I just found the charts in a little stack I had there that talked about something that really gets overlooked with omega-3s. And this is so I'll read a few charts here quickly because I know we're running out of time and we want to run along to Choco Nuvo. And we'll have a brief, probably about 10 or 15 minutes at the end of the second hour where we'll talk about omega-3s again, and then that's it. So the Journal of the American College of Nutrition, it has been hypothesized, meaning that it's been speculated, that one of the reasons for the decreased emotional health, less emotional balance over the past century, may be correlated with a marked decrease in the ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids due to diet changes, meaning that our less stable and balanced emotions relate to a lower omega-3 intake. From the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, omega-3 fatty acids, particularly those found in fish and seafood, may play an adjunctive role in maintaining emotional balance. Expert review of neurotherapeutics. Epidemiologic and biochemical research provides persuasive evidence for an association between emotional challenges and decreased omega-3 fatty acid intake status. Omega-3 fatty acids may be involved in the promotion of psychological health. Journal of the American College of Nutrition, several studies have demonstrated that individuals experience negative mood and decreased emotional health have significantly lower dietary intake and serum levels of omega-3 fatty acids. The positive effect of omega-3 fatty acid supplementation on mood and emotional health in elderly patients appears of relevant clinical importance because emotional challenges are common in later life. I think emotional challenges are common in every life, especially today. Moreover, recent observations have shown that omega-3 fatty acids represent a potential tool for promoting positive mood and emotional balance. An inverse correlation between omega-3 fatty acids intake and negative mood has also been reported in various clinical studies. By inverse relationship, it means that as omega-3 fatty acid levels went up, negative mood went down. And as omega-3 levels went down, negative mood went up. So we want those increased levels of omega-3s. Last one, from oxidative medicine and cellular longevity. Although many other factors may contribute to the rise in depression, and for which effect, although not efficient treatments already exist, dietary recommendations suggesting proper intake of omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids and dietary interventions, including omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid supplement, can result in substantial benefits for the general population. Again, it's not a drug, it's not a medicine for psychological or psychiatric issues, but it is a critical structural component in your brain, and thus it supports the healthy function, promotes the healthy function of your brain.
And that's our Maximum Essential Omega-3. It's our first today's special. We see you folks. Please stay in the ordering process. That's just part one. Now we've got part two, our second today's special. And Andrew, it's